In this video, we're going to find the missing side of a right triangle, but most of the time these sides will not have integer lengths. That means that when you go to square root, you're going to get a decimal, and it's most likely going to be a decimal that's irrational, which means the decimal will never end and will never repeat. So this question here says find the missing side, and let's write the formula. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We are missing one of the legs, right? Because it's the side touching the right angle. So 20 has to be C. I'm going to say we're missing A, and B is 15. All right, so I'm going to say this is C, and this is B, and this is A. So A squared, we can't simplify. 15 squared is 225. 20 squared is 400. If I want to find out what A is, I have to get that 225 to go to the other side. So I'm going to do minus 225 to both sides. And I'm going to get A squared is equal to 175. And I want to know what A is. I need to get rid of that squared. So I need to square root both sides. And the square root of 175 on my calculator here is going to get 13.22875656. So when you do these problems, if it comes out to be a decimal, they will probably tell you what digit to round to. Now, I just made this question on paper, so it doesn't have directions like that. So we're going to say that all these, we're going to round to the nearest tenth. All right, so A is approximately 13.2, right? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 13.228755656. And then I'm going to put dots. All right. Now that's the more precise answer. When I round it, I really shouldn't put an equal sign because it's not equal to that. It's approximately 13.2 meters. When I make the equal signs wavy like that, that means that that is the approximate answer. Because we rounded it, it's not an exact answer. It's an approximate answer. All right, so the missing side here was 13.2 approximately. All right, the next one. Looks like in this one we are missing C. So I'm going to plug in 3 for A and 13 for B, and I don't know C. Oops, that should be an equal sign. 3 squared is 9. 13 squared is 169, which is equal to C squared. Now those two say to add them, and I can add them because I know what 169 plus 9 is. It's 178, which is equal to C squared. That's really close to 175. So when I square root both sides, I'm going to get square root 178, which is, C is approximately 13.3416646. So I'm going to do this one to the nearest tenth again. So 13.3 inches. So make sure when you're doing these questions, you look carefully and you see what place value they want it to be rounded to. All right, and this one is also missing C, right? Because C is the longest side across from the right angle. So A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. 7.5 squared plus 9 squared equals C squared. 7.5 is A and 9 is B. Remember, you can switch those if you'd like. Just make sure C is the one that we're missing because C is the one across from the right angle. You will always be able to use a calculator on these problems, so don't feel like you have to do 7.5 squared in your head or out on paper. Feel free to use your calculator. 56.25 is what 7.5 squared is. 9 squared is 81. Now, if I want to know C, I should probably simplify this. 56.25 plus 81 is 137.25, which is equal to C squared. I don't want C squared, I want C. So I'm going to square root both sides and get C is approximately 11.71537451, another irrational decimal. We're just going to round it to the nearest tenth like the previous two and say 11.7 millimeters. So just like we were doing earlier with Pythagorean theorem, you're missing a side, but now these questions might have side lengths that are decimals. You'll have to do a little bit of rounding, and you'll have to use your calculator to do the square roots. Thanks for watching.